Titans are back, baby! Let's get it, they're back. I used to play a lot of Titan, making builds, having fun, punching everything with my fists, but in the current meta, there really isn't any ways or methods for Titans to be more superior compared to Hunters and Warlocks. Hunters and Warlocks are like the best of the best of the best, and Titans got schmeat on. But when episode Revenant came out, they did some minor tweaking / updates towards all of the Guardians, and in this build, we are going to make a fastest Thunder Crash build you can ever make in the game. The dim link will be in the descriptiones. If you know, you know, just click on that bad boy. But before you do that, watch this whole video. I do appreciate it. Damn, I sound like the guy from Family Guy. Hey, Peter. They did a few changes for this exotic armor piece called Cuirass of the Falling Star. Back in the day, all it would do is that it would increase your Thunder Crash damage. So here's what they did. They nerfed the damage for the Thunder Crash. It would usually give you 2 times the amount of damage, but now it's going to give you 1.55 times damage, but that's all right. The best part is that melee final blows while amplified would now grant you super energy. So that would be like your consecration melee, your regular melee, or even like a strand melee, or just any melee in general. You're going to be getting super energy, which is pretty hot. And they also replaced the overshield with a damage resist that would give you a 50% damage resist in PvE. I wanted to take full advantage of using the Prismatic Titan because we have multiple variations and ways for us to combine multiple items and abilities to make us even better. Let's start with the abilities. And for the class ability, for me, I chose to put Thruster, but for you, you can choose any other class ability you like. And they also updated the barricades. So whenever you stand behind it, it would actually aggro the enemies in front of you. And the main ability we're going to be using for this build is, of course, Frenzied Blade. If you guys do not know this, we're going to use an aspect that would give us 3 charges, which makes us even more overpowered when using this ability. This just gives us 3 charges. And for the grenades, you can choose any grenade you like, whichever floats your boat. For me, I personally like Pulse Grenade, just because it just feels nice when getting kills. And the 2 main aspects you're going to want to use for this build, the first one is Consecration. All you would have to do is slide, then press your melee button, and then it will lift you up into the air, which will release these waves of flame in front of you. If that enemy gets hit by that flame, press your melee button again to go down and slam onto the ground, and then they will go boom. And the other one will allow us to become amplified, which will help us with our transcendent energy gains. So whenever we were to get a melee attack kill, it could be any melee attack, you would become amplified. And if you were to break a combatant shield, or if you're critically wounded, it would increase your melee range and damage for a short time, and you would also get healing as well. So the more punchy, the more healthy, and more range and damage you give. So for the fragments, the first one will benefit from producing tons of transcendent energy, specifically towards darkness, because we're not going to be having that many abilities towards darkness energy besides our melee ability. So I put Facet of Sacrifice. While you have a Arc, Solar, or Void buff, ability final blows will grant bonus darkness transcendence energy, and you would also get plus 10 discipline. So that will include Amplified, Cure, Radiant, Restoration, Devour, Invisibility, and Overshield. So in our case, it's only going to be amplified because of our punchy of that aspect called Knockout. The second fragment is just for survivability purposes and is Facet of Protection. While you're getting railed in the back by a bunch of Cabal or any enemy around you, it would give you a damage resist, and you would also get plus 10 strength. So if you do like to get railed from the back by multiple enemies, be sure to put this fragment. The third fragment is just to give us even more healing when it comes to doing the punchy enemy type thing, and it's called Facet of Blessing. Melee final blows will start health regeneration, while Transcendent, your melee final blows start health regeneration for you and your nearby allies. So this is like a godsend for survivability when you're playing as Titan, because Titan, you don't have that much healing. The fourth fragment is Facet of Ruin. This one just increases the size and damage of your consecration, so your ignitions will go boom even bigger. You would also get plus 10 mobility, but who the hell cares? We're not hunters. The last one is Facet of Grace. This one's specifically towards bad Juju. Whenever you defeat targets with kinetic weapons, you would grant yourself bonus transcendence energy, and whenever you defeat targets with your super, it would grant you and your nearby allies bonus transcendence energy. Long story short, the more you shoot, you get more transcendence energy from your light and darkness, because kinetic weapons can do that. You also get minus 10 resilience, which kind of sucks because we're Titans and we need that resilience, but what can you do? I also do want to mention that we are going to be spamming our consecration non-stop. In other words, we're going to be wasting tons of our melee ability charges. So if that comes to the point where you do, I would recommend spam the living hell out of bad Juju to generate tons of transcendence energy. And once you activate your transcendence ability, it would immediately refresh all of your abilities. So for the bad Juju, this also got a buff this season. I like to call it seasons. I don't like calling it episodes. So for the buff called String of Curses, it was lasting for 3.5 seconds for the base, but now they increased it to 5.5 seconds for the base. And let me explain what that buff really does for the bad Juju. So String of Curses, it would one, refill your magazine whenever you get kills, and also it will increase the damage for a short duration. And the main part for this pulse rifle is that you would get a gigachad amounts of super energy based on the number of strengths of String of Curses. And this also fires a full auto, but I don't know, it's a pulse rifle. I just like tend to use it as a pulse rifle. And for the catalyst, all it would do is that it will extend the duration for String of Curses. So I'm thinking this will increase it up to 7 seconds. Every time I would see that in game, it would be 7 or 8 seconds, one of the two. So there is going to be 5 stacks of this. So if you do have 5 stacks of this, it would give you 100% increase in damage, and you would also get 2% additional super energy. And also it's actually 7.5 seconds if you want to be technical. All your nerdy Destiny 2 gamers out there, it's 7.5 seconds. All right, my dumb didn't think of that gum, you know. And for your energy and heavy weapon, you can choose any weapon you like. I don't really give 2 flying flips of what you're using, but I chose to put this shotgun primarily because of anti-barrier shotgun for this season. But I don't really like using shotguns, but it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do if you want to complete encounters and activities. For the shotgun, I put the gelato, aka the legato. I like calling it gelato. And the perks that I got for the shotgun is triple tap and vorpal. They added some new mods for some weapons, and there are other variations for it, but for me, I chose to put heavy ammo finder enhancement. Long story short, the more kills you get, the higher chance you find heavy ammo. I would also prefer going for the rocket sidearms. It kind of sucked that they did get a nerf because they would have a decreased amount of reserves up to 25%. So you're not going to be using the sidearms that often, but I am using a mod that would give us special ammo when we finish a dude off. I'm just sticking with the shotgun, but you can just choose any other weapon you like. And for the power weapon, I'm putting a grenade launcher, again for the seasonal artifacts, called Concussive Reload. It's basically Breach and Clear, but they just changed the name. I don't know why. Whenever you use a grenade, and if you were to damage a boss, a champion, or break a shield, it will weaken them. That's pretty much it. Just put a grenade launcher, either your energy or heavy. That's it. Put any grenade launcher. And for the grenade launcher that I'm using is Edge Transit, and I'm using Envious Assassin, Bait and Switch, and Indomitability. For Indomitability, it ties to your super, so I'm using Thunder Crash. So Final Blows grant grenade energy when you're playing on the light subclass, which will give you 5% per kill if you are getting kills with this Gigachad Big Schlong grenade launcher. And also for the stats, if you do want to take full advantage of decreasing your super cooldown, in which case I am personally, you got to go for tier 10 intellect, because if you have tier 10 intellect, it would go all the way down to 7 minutes and 5 seconds. And let's just say you just have tier 2 intellect, and the cooldown for your Thunder Crash would be 10 minutes roughly, around that, if you just have tier 2 intellect. So the higher intellect, the cooldown would be decreased. All right, people, I just want to make this more simple. So if you guys would like to copy the armor mods, it would be right here if you're interested. But the main ones I do want to mention is that on my Titan mark, that yellow thing that you see on the bottom left, it is called Special Finisher. If I have 3 stacks of armor charges and I were to finish a guy off with consent, I would get special ammo from him just for my energy weapon if you are running a rocket sidearm. But if not, then you can just change it. And also for my helmet, I am using hands-on, 2 of them actually. If we were to fist people, it would give us super energy. But you can change all of these mods if you like, whatever floats your boat when it comes to your gameplay and all that mumbo jumbo stuff. But I like running this. All right, get off my back, you beautiful viewers. I was actually quite surprised when I was actually using this build. I ran a Master Law Sector. I think that's the pronunciation of how you... I don't know. They changed the name. It's been a while since I played this game, but they changed the name. I think it's Master. And the power cap is 2040. And my current power level right now is 2006. So I was roughly... Damn, I don't know how to count. 34 levels. Damn, that took me a while to figure that out. 34 levels below that recommended power level. And I was just melting them non-stop. Oh my god, I was calling them the B word. I can't say it, but if you know, you know. But damn, man, this build is pretty good, pretty good. Makes me stutter. That's how good this build is. And plus, I'm a Titan main, so all I eat is crayons. So yeah, if you enjoy getting tons of melee kills and also seeing tons of explosions, beautiful, colorful explosions in front of your screen, and also seeing your super energy bar go up as fast as possible, then this build is for you. I highly recommend it. This is just fun, spamming your Thunder Crash, eating crayons, giving no Fs, all that stuff. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy and would like to see another build, there's a lot of builds. They like redid a lot of exotics, added new exotics and all that stuff. But if you guys would like to see more builds, let me know in the comments. I'll check them out. And yeah, hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, or afternoon. It feels great coming back to Destiny. I know it's been having its ups and downs lately, but it feels good.